Good afternoon, YouTube land, and my brothers and sisters in Christ. Welcome back to the Lorenzo's Podcast channel. So, yes, welcome back to my channel. And in this video, you will learn how I overcame certain situations along my journey in the wilderness. So, my journey of the wilderness, in the wilderness, that's what you're going to be learning about today. So, I'm going to give you the understanding how you can conquer and overcome those things that used to hurt you. Welcome back. So this episode is my journey in the wilderness. So when I first really entered into the wilderness, I didn't understand what I was going through either. And I know it's somebody right now that's experiencing that right now. So if you're watching this video, this is for you. This is for you. You're not going to need to go nowhere else after watching this video because you're going to get a clear understanding of my journey and you can conquer it too. So when I first entered in the journey, it was just scary. Like I didn't know what to expect. I had kids, so I didn't know what to do. I was afraid. I was feared at that time, scared. But I always remember that God said, "We are His children, and we shall not want." Even though He led me in the green passage, He lead me in the valley of the shadow of death. So when I understood those things, I just started going with my situation. I fought my situation head on. I didn't let my situation conquer me. Once I understood that I had the tools already that was within me to conquer my fear, to conquer this journey, to conquer all these situations that's going to come upon me. So I stayed fighting. I never gave up. It seemed like things wasn't getting easy. It seemed like things wasn't lightening up. But I always remember that God was quiet during the test. So sometimes He tests you on the journey. He just be quiet. He won't move. He won't do nothing. He want to see how long you gonna go before you break. Because he know already how long you can go. So he about to see if you can go. You gonna try to go over it, or you just gonna submit. So in the course, I just said, Lord, I give you, I give you the honor. I sacrifice myself to you to so I can live right, so I can be better. So as I continue to do that, I read the Bible, I'm going to church, I'm faithfully. It seemed like things wasn't working. It seemed like things wasn't turning around. And then I had this one experience. It's when my faith really grown in the Lord deep. Now watch this. There was one time that I was about to think my son was being born. And I ain't had no way, nothing like no phone, nothing. So that's when I remember the Lord told me to come to Him. He said, "Seek ye first." So I went to the Lord first. I prayed, then I left it alone. And then, like 10 minutes later, I went to my neighbor and asked to use his car. And his car had no gas in it. He said, "If you can put some gas, you can use it." So when I looked at the gas, and I told my pops like, he said, "I ain't driving." I said, "The Lord told us to get in this car. He gonna get us there. He gonna get us back." So my pops went off. He was like, "Okay, I'm gonna go off you." We got there. It's in the middle of the winter. It's in a blizzard. This when I understood that the Lord was for real. God was real. Jesus is real. I understood that this day. This really opened my mind to it. So He allowed us to take a car that had no gas with two kids with us in the middle of a blizzard. Got us to the hospital, rode around the parking lot, parked it, got us home in the middle of the blizzard. So that day He showed me that He was faithful. That day He showed me if I lean on Him, this is what I can experience. The supernatural things, the impossible happening. That was an impossible situation that He turned possible. So if you going through an impossible situation in your life, just know He can get you through it because He got me through it. So Every time you come to my page, you're going to understand how God allowed me to conquer different situations and journeys in the wilderness. Because I want to give you hope too. I don't want you to just think that like, oh, he think no. I was just like you. I'm in a journey right now. I'm in the wilderness right now. I'm going through situations, but I understand because I had an animal to fight it. The Lord is bigger than my situation, so why should I try? Why should I care? Why should I go worry about anything that's gonna hinder me? Because He said, if you pray, why worry? And if you worry, why pray? So when you pray and worry, you still doubt that He can do something. So in the journey, He want to build you. He want to build the internal you first, because when He redo your insides, it's gonna show. The glow gonna show on the outside. So don't worry. If you're going through something right now, don't worry. You're gonna conquer it. Just keep fighting. It seems like it ain't working. It seems like what you're doing is not working. But no, it is working. It's something big for you. That's why you gotta go through an extra suffering. Because your plans and the goals that God has for you are bigger than what you think. Sometimes you might have to take on a multitude of people. Your faith is gonna keep this multitude in tune. So that's why sometimes, depending on the color of your life in the midst of the wilderness, on how much you gotta suffer or how long you gotta suffer, God is the key. It don't matter. Long as you got the key while you on the journey, you gonna always win. I'm talking to you. You gonna always win. Stay focused. Stay clear. Understanding that God is the key. He is the whole key to your destiny. When you turn yourself over to God, it's the way He wants you to live, according to His walk, according to His will. That's like a parent. Like as you live with your mother and father, or if you live with one or the other one, they have rules that goes on in their house. They have rules. They have goals. They got standards for you. That's how God is. He have rules. He have standards. So at the end of the day, if we don't go by those rules and meet them expectations of our Father, they get angry at us. We be punished. So sometimes God punishing you in the midst of the wilderness so you can come out strong, so you can understand where your mistakes was, so you may not make that same mistake in the journey, on the journey. Because I'm in the wilderness right now with you. I have thoughts that go through my mind too because I'm walking. When you walking by yourself, when you in the midst of that journey, it seems like everything coming at you. Remember, Jesus was in the midst of the journey too. He was in the wilderness too. He went through the same things we going through to understand what we go through. See, Jesus had a purpose when God sent him down here. When his Father sent him to us, he had a purpose. So God has a purpose for you. And everybody's purpose is different. Everybody have a different calling upon their life. So in the midst of the journey, you're going to suffer. Yes, because I suffer too. I'm not going to sit here and just like lie to nobody or just lie to kick it. No, I go through situations too. But I know the source that'll get me over the situation. That allow me to conquer the situation through him. So at the end of the day, stop worrying while you're on the journey. When you're on a journey, worrying is still doubt. When you worry about something after you pray about it, it means you doubting that God can work out. So why pray if you're going to still doubt? Don't do it. Because I'm a living testimony that He got me through so much. And as you stay tuned in to me, you're going to understand the journey and you're going to conquer it too. I'm talking about you out there. You're going through something right now, you're going to conquer it. If God brought you to it, He gonna bring you through it. Always remember that. God ain't gonna bring you through nothing that He can't win. God is undefeated. It ain't no battle He ain't won. When you put your life in His hands, it's a way that you gotta walk now. It's a way that you gotta believe now. When your people tell you that something can't happen, you know that you serve a Father that'll make the impossible happen. So we got to remember that. Stop worrying. Worrying is not going to solve anything. Stop worrying about what you can't change and worry about what you can change. You can't change how somebody else act. You can only change how you act, right? Just because somebody go rob a gas station, do that make you got to go rob that same gas station? No. So it's the morals that's in you. God want to bring everything good out of you. He want people along the journey to meet you. He have your destiny changer along the journey. But if you don't walk the journey, how can you meet somebody? You can't meet them. You got to go through the journey. You got to go on the journey. So what? Somebody done walked away from you. You've been friends with somebody for 30 years and they just walked away from you. That's because you in the truth now. You done found something. You done found the source that can change your life and they don't want to believe it. But stop telling them. Now let God work through you so they can understand that you believe. You knew that he can do this. They didn't believe. So stay focused. Stay clear. Because God can work it out for you. Stop worrying. If you behind on something, so what? He's working it